The stars shone bright in the vast black sky. As the Vril spaceship slowly approached the small human colony on the planet Terra Nova, the ship was large and smooth, shining silver under the light of Terra Nova's sun. Inside, the Vril leaders watched carefully as their new neighbors prepared to welcome them. The Vril were a curious species, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like glass. They had traveled many light years to learn about humans. Stories about humans spread across the galaxy. Some said humans were brave and strong. Others said humans could be wild and dangerous. The Vril were not sure what to expect. Commander Ilix, the leader of the Vril group, looked down at the green-blue planet. "This is the place," she said softly. "The humans call it Terra Nova, their new home." Her second-in-command, Reith, nodded. "The reports say humans are peaceful here. But we must be careful. Humans do not always follow logic. Their emotions run deep." On the ground, the humans waited eagerly. They had heard about the Vril and were excited to meet beings from another world. The colony was small but full of life. The buildings were simple, made of light metal and glass, surrounded by green trees and colorful flowers. Children played nearby, and adults prepared for the arrival ceremony. Governor Elena Moore stood at the colony's main square. She smiled warmly as the Vril ship landed smoothly on the ground. The doors opened, and the tall Vril stepped out slowly, their eyes wide with curiosity. The humans clapped politely and offered gifts of fruit and flowers. Elena Moore, Governor of Terra Nova, welcomes the Vril delegation, she said clearly. "We are honored to meet you and hope this marks the beginning of a strong friendship, Commander." Ilix bowed slightly. "We thank you, Governor Moore. The Vril come in peace and with a desire to learn about your people." At first, the meeting was smooth. The humans and Vril exchanged stories, food, and technology. The Vril were fascinated by human music, their stories of Earth, and their hopeful spirit. The humans admired the Vril's advanced science and graceful way of moving. But as the days passed, small problems began to appear. The Vril did not understand some human customs. They found it strange that humans often raised their voices when excited or upset. To the Vril, loud sounds were a sign of anger or danger. The humans thought the Vril were too quiet and cold. One evening, during a shared meal, a young Vril named Sila asked, "Why do humans speak so loudly when they are happy? It sounds like they are angry." A human named Mark laughed. "That's just how we show excitement. It's normal for us." Sila frowned. "It is hard to tell when you are happy or angry. We Vril prefer calm." The humans smiled. But the Vril's confusion was clear. The difference in feelings was small but important. It was the first sign that the two races had much to learn about each other. Governor Moore knew this was only the beginning. "We must teach each other," she said in a meeting with the Vril leaders. "Understanding is the key to peace." Commander Ilix agreed. "Yes, but we must also be careful. Humans are strong when they are hurt or angry. We must respect their feelings." In the following days, the humans and Vril worked together to share customs. The Vril learned to smile more and to listen carefully. The humans tried to speak softer and watch their tone. Yet, even with effort, some tensions grew. The Vril, who prized logic and calm, sometimes seemed cold or distant. The humans, who valued emotion and passion, sometimes felt the Vril did not care. One afternoon, a group of Vril scientists visited the human school. They wanted to understand human children better. The children were curious, but also a little scared of the tall Vril. A boy named Jamie raised his hand. "Do you like Earth?" Silas smiled softly. "I have never been to Earth, but I wish to see it someday." Jamie looked surprised. "You have never been to Earth? Why?" Silas' eyes grew distant. "The Vril come from many stars away. We explore new worlds. Earth is special to humans." The children listened quietly. Then Jamie said, "I hope you like Terra Nova. It's my home." The Vril scientists nodded. "We do." But under the surface, both humans and Vril wondered how long this friendship could last. Could such different races truly understand each other? That question hung silently as the sun set over Terra Nova. The sky turned pink and orange, and the stars began to shine again. The humans looked up, hopeful. The Vril watched, cautious. No one knew what the next days would bring. But one thing was clear. The arrival of the Vril was only the first step in a story that would change both their worlds forever. The days after the Vril arrival on Terra Nova were full of excitement and hope. Humans and Vril worked side by side, sharing knowledge and learning about each other's worlds. The peace between them seemed strong, but sometimes even small things could cause big problems. Governor Elena Moore and Commander Ilix planned a special event to celebrate their new friendship. They called it the Unity Festival. It would be a day full of music, food, and talks about the future. Both humans and Vril were excited to take part. On the morning of the festival, the town square of Terra Nova was decorated with bright flags and colorful lights. Humans and Vril wore their best clothes, children ran around laughing, and adults prepared speeches and performances. The air was full of hope. The Vril diplomat, Vasher, was to give a speech. He was calm and serious, respected by many, but Vasher did not fully understand human feelings and customs. Before his speech, Governor Moore gave Vasher a small gift, a handcrafted necklace. It was a human tradition to show respect and friendship. She smiled warmly and said, "This is for you, to remember us and our hope for peace." Vasher accepted the necklace quietly. But when the time came for his speech, something unexpected happened. Vasher stood before the crowd and began to speak. His voice was clear, but his words seemed cold to the humans. He said, "We thank you for your welcome, humans, but we notice many of your customs are strange. Some seem illogical and even weak." The crowd was silent. Some humans frowned, feeling hurt. Governor Moore's smile disappeared. She looked surprised and concerned. Vasher continued, "For example, you're loud. Voices and displays of strong emotions confuse us. They can cause disorder. We suggest that you adopt more peaceful and logical ways." Many humans felt insulted. To them, their emotions were a sign of strength and passion, not weakness. The Vril did not understand that these emotions were part of what made humans special. One of the elders, Mr. Thompson, stood up and spoke quietly but firmly. "Our customs show who we are. To change them is to lose ourselves." Vasher did not seem to hear. He finished his speech and stepped down, unaware of the tension he caused. After the speech, whispers spread among the humans. Some said the Vril were arrogant. Others worried that the Vril did not respect their culture. Governor Moore called a meeting with Commander Ilix and Vasher. "Your words upset many people," she said. "You must understand that respect means more than just logic. It means honoring feelings and traditions." Commander Ilix looked troubled. Vasher does not mean harm. He comes from a culture of calm and order. Emotions are less valued in Vril society. Vasher spoke quietly. "In our world, strong emotions often lead to conflict. We want peace, so we prefer logic. But humans are different," Elena said. "They use their feelings to connect and protect each other." The meeting ended with no clear solution. The Vril tried to explain, and the humans tried to forgive. But a small divide had grown. That evening, as the festival continued with music and dancing, some humans spoke in low voices about the speech. A young woman named Lisa said, "I like the Vril, but sometimes they don't see us for who we really are." Her friend, Raj, nodded. "They think we are weak because we feel deeply, but that feeling makes us strong." Meanwhile, some Vril discussed the problem. Sila, the young Vril who had spoken with the children, said, "We must learn better. Our way is not the only way." Commander Ilix agreed. "Yes, if we do not understand humans' emotions, we will lose their trust." But not all Vril shared this thought. Vasher believed humans needed to change. They must learn to control their emotions. He said to a small group, "Only then will there be true peace." As days passed, the small misunderstanding grew larger. Some Vril became cold and distant toward humans. Some humans became defensive and wary. In the colony, tensions were rising but still hidden under smiles. The Vril and humans tried to continue their work and friendships, but the air was heavy. One afternoon, a group of Vril children played near the human playground. A human child accidentally knocked over a Vril child's toy. The Vril child, feeling upset, shouted loudly a sound strange and sharp to human ears. The human child, surprised, shouted back. Voices rose quickly, and soon a small fight began. Adults rushed to stop it. Governor Moore came quickly and spoke calmly to both groups. Please, this is a mistake. We must be patient with each other. The Vril parents were quiet but concerned. They saw how quickly humans could show anger and protect their own. That night, Governor Moore spoke to her advisors. We must find a way to teach respect and understanding. The Vril do not see our emotions as strength. That is a problem, Commander Ilix replied. And the humans must learn that logic and calm are also important. Both leaders knew the future depended on bridging this gap. If they failed, the colony's peace could end as the stars blinked over Terra Nova. A silent promise was made in both hearts to never make a human angry, because, as some said quietly, never make a human angry. The peace on Terra Nova was fragile. After the misunderstanding at the Unity Festival, tensions between the humans and Vril grew slowly but surely. Both sides tried to hide their worries behind polite words and forced smiles, but deep inside, the fear of conflict grew stronger. Commander Ilix stood on a hill overlooking the colony. Her tall figure was still and thoughtful. We must keep control, she said quietly to her second-in-command, Reith. The humans are strong, but their emotions can lead to chaos. Reith nodded. Yes, Commander. Some Vril in the council believe humans should be closely watched. Back in the colony, Governor Elena Moore felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She held meetings every day, trying to calm both humans and Vril leaders. We need understanding, she told them. But if either side feels threatened, all could be lost. Despite the efforts, small incidents began to happen more often. Minor arguments turned into heated words. A human trader accused a Vril merchant of cheating. A Vril guard was seen acting coldly toward human workers. One day, during a routine patrol, a group of Vril scientists visited a research station. They noticed that human workers were frustrated by the strict rules the Vril had put in place. The Vril believed that more control was necessary for safety, but humans felt trapped and ignored. A young human engineer named Sarah spoke out. We understand safety, but we need freedom to think and act. Your rules make us feel like prisoners. A Vril scientist, Jorok, replied firmly. Your freedom causes disorder. We offer peace and order. Sarah's eyes burned with determination. Freedom and respect are part of who we are. Without them, peace means nothing. The disagreement ended with no resolution. The workers felt unheard, and the scientists felt frustrated. Meanwhile, in the Vril Council, a group led by Vasher grew louder. They saw humans as unpredictable and dangerous. We must control them before they harm us, Vasher said in a secret meeting. Their emotions will destroy this alliance. Not everyone agreed. Commander Ilix and some others believed that cooperation was possible. But the tension in the council was real. The breaking point came unexpectedly during a joint exercise. Human soldiers and Vril guards trained together near the colony border. A small accident happened. A misfired weapon caused damage to a Vril vehicle. The Vril guards blamed the humans. The humans said it was a mistake. Words were exchanged. Voices rose. One human soldier, angry and feeling insulted, shouted at the Vril. The Vril responded with cold glares and firm words. Suddenly, the situation turned dangerous. A human commander shouted, "Back off. We will not be pushed around." The Vril captain replied, "Calm yourself, human. This is only a mistake." But the human commander was already angry. Never make a human angry, he warned, his voice full of warning. Other soldiers and guards stepped between them, trying to stop the fight. But the air was thick with tension. Both sides could feel it. Governor Moore and Commander Ilix arrived quickly Eleanor raised her hands. Enough. This fight will destroy everything we have built. Ilex nodded. Humans can be strong when angered. We must be careful. That night, the leaders met in the colony's council hall. The room was heavy with worry. Governor Moore spoke first. We cannot allow fear and anger to rule. We must find a way to respect each other's strengths and weaknesses. Commander Ilex agreed, yes. But the human strength comes from their passion and will. It can protect or destroy. Vasher interrupted. If we do not control their passion, we will lose peace. Elena looked at him firmly. Control is not the answer. Understanding is. The meeting ended with no clear solution. Both sides knew the future was uncertain. In the days that followed, humans prepared quietly. They trained harder and stayed alert. They knew they might have to defend their home. The Vril also prepared. Some prepared for peace, others for conflict. In a small room, a young human soldier, Jack, spoke with his friends. We can't let anyone take our home. Never make a human angry. When we fight with all our heart. His friend, Lisa, nodded. We fight not just with weapons, but with our minds and will. We protect what we love. Far from the colony, the stars looked cold and distant. The universe waited, silent. The story of Terra Nova was about to change. The sun rose over Terra Nova with a bright, golden light, but beneath its warmth, tension simmered like a hidden fire. The humans were ready to defend their home. The Vril watched closely, unsure if the fragile peace would last. One morning, a group of Vril scientists moved into a research area near a human settlement. They wanted to study the planet's new resources. The humans welcomed their work at first, but when the Vril began to take more land without asking, the mood changed. A young human farmer, Michael, stood in the fields, watching machines clear trees. He felt anger rise inside him, not just for his land, but for all the people who called Terra Nova home. This land is ours, he said to his friends. We can't let them take it without respect. Across the colony, news spread quickly. Humans gathered to discuss what they should do. Governor Moore listened carefully. She knew the Vril did not mean harm, but their actions showed a lack of respect. Meanwhile, in the Vril camp, some leaders believed humans were becoming dangerous. Vasher spoke strongly. Their anger grows. Soon, it will become a storm we cannot control. Commander Ilex, however, warned humans fight for their homes and families. Their anger is powerful, but it also shows love and strength. One evening, when the sun was low, a sudden attack shocked the colony. Some Vril workers accidentally destroyed a human village's water supply. The humans were shocked and angry. Children and elders were without water. The colony erupted in protests. The humans demanded an apology and helped to fix the damage. Governor Moore spoke firmly. We will not stand for harm to our people. We must protect what is ours. The Vril leaders apologized, but some still believed humans were too quick to anger. They sent guards to watch the humans more closely, but the humans were no longer willing to wait. They began to prepare their defenses with new determination. They trained day and night. Scientists worked on new tools and weapons. The farmers and workers volunteered to help. Michael joined a group of defenders. He felt proud but also worried. We don't want war, he said, but we will fight if we must. In the middle of this, a secret meeting took place between Governor Moore and Commander Ilex. We must find peace, Elena said, but the humans' power comes from their spirit. They are fierce and brave. Ilex nodded. Yes, we must respect that. If we push them too far, there will be no turning back. As days passed, small skirmishes broke out between human defenders and Vril guards. Neither side wanted full war, but anger and fear pushed them closer. One night, under the starry sky, Michael stood watch at the border of the colony. He looked at the quiet stars and thought about Earth, the home of his ancestors. He whispered to himself, never make a human angry. Suddenly, a group of Vril scouts approached quietly. Michael raised his weapon but stopped. He remembered the words of Governor Moore. Peace was still possible. He lowered his weapon and called out, Wait, we don't want war. The scouts hesitated. then slowly stepped back. The next day, news spread of Michael's action. It showed that humans could be strong and wise. The Vril Council met again. Some wanted to use force, others, like Commander Ilix, argued for understanding. At last, a new plan was made. Both sides agreed to meet in a neutral place to talk. Governor Moore prepared a speech. She said, "Humans are strong not just in body, but in heart. Our anger is not to destroy, but to protect. If we learn to respect each other, we can build a future together." Commander Ilix added, "The Vril must learn to honor human passion. It is part of their strength." The meeting was tense but hopeful. Both humans and Vril realized that their differences were great, but respect and understanding could build bridges. The story of Terra Nova was no longer just about two races meeting. It was about two souls learning to share a home. The sun rose again over Terra Nova, casting soft light on a colony still feeling the weight of recent events. But something had changed. The humans and the Vril were ready to meet not as strangers, but as allies. Governor Eleanor Moore stood before a crowd of humans and Vril, her voice calm but strong. "Today, we begin a new chapter. We have seen the power of human will and the strength of real wisdom. Together, we can build a future based on respect and trust." Commander Ilix stepped forward beside her. The Vril have learned much from the humans. Their passion is a force not to be feared, but to be understood and honored. The crowd cheered softly, the sound a mix of hope and relief. Both humans and Vril knew it would take time, but this was the first step. The peace talks had not been easy. Each side had to face hard truths and old fears. The Vril admitted their cold logic had sometimes hurt the humans. The humans acknowledged that their emotions could lead to danger if not controlled. At the heart of their new agreement was respect. The Vril promised to honor human traditions and feelings. The humans agreed to listen more to Vril calm and wisdom. One of the most important moments came when the Vril offered to help rebuild the damaged villages. Together, humans and Vril worked side by side, planting trees, fixing homes, and restoring water supplies. The work was hard but healing. Michael, the young farmer, stood with his hands in the soil. He smiled as a Vril worker placed a seedling. Nearby, "We're stronger when we work together," he said quietly. In the weeks that followed, new friendships grew. Children played together without fear. Scientists shared ideas freely. Soldiers trained in mixed groups, learning each other's ways. The story of Terra Nova became known across the galaxy. Other species watched with hope. Could two very different peoples find peace through respect and understanding? Governor Moore often thought about those first days when the Vril arrived, how close they had come to war, and how anger could have destroyed everything. She remembered the words the human commander had said, "Never make a human angry." But she knew there was more to it than a warning. It was a lesson. Humans could be fierce, but their anger was tied to love for home, family, and freedom. It was a power that could protect or destroy, depending on how it was used. The Vril learned that emotions were not a weakness, but a strength. And humans learned that calm and logic were not cold, but tools for peace. As the stars shone above Terra Nova, two flags flew side by side, one human, one Vril. They were symbols of a new alliance, born from respect, courage, and the promise to never forget the power of understanding. And so, the story ended not with war, but with hope, a reminder to the galaxy that making a human angry is never wise, but honoring their spirit can build a future brighter than any star.